we could go with a little hope and light and lighthearted, really, really good, amazing story from Dick. So I'm going to let Dick take it away here and share some of his story.
All right, very good. Dick, welcome.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
And thanks for letting me speak here. My story, if I may, I would like to go back 15 years ago in 2009. I had head, neck, throat cancer, stage 4. Dr. John Lee up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, recommended that I do chemotherapy and radiation simultaneously. I was, like I said, I was stage 4 and it was quite advanced. So, long story short on that side, I had 35 radiation treatments to the head neck area, which is quite a few. So now jumping forward, 15 years ago, they probably didn't expect me to be around this long after it. The treatment worked. I'm here. But unfortunately, we had some residuals connected to it, which living longer, those are popping up. And one of them is my saliva gland was destroyed, I thought. During the treatment, I had dry mouth. I haven't been able to have saliva, eating, doing anything for 15 years. And the blood flow to my jaw was reduced. So back in December of 23, I went to my dentist, and he would not touch the tooth. It needed to be extracted simply because there's no blood getting to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm going to send you to an oral surgeon, a Dennis Miller in Siouxland Oral Surgery in Sioux Falls. I go in that day thinking he's going to extract my tooth. He said, oh, no, buddy, we're not pulling it today. You have to have what's called hyperbaric chambers. And I'm looking at him kind of dazzled like a deer looking into headlights. And he said, you're going to have 30 dives, he called them. They're 1-hour sessions in the hyperbaric chambers, so you'll have to come to Sioux Falls to have them. And my wife, Connie, said, well, we have a gentleman in Spirit Lake. Dr. Meyer has it right in Spirit Lake. So that's how I got to know Dr. Meyer. I came over and I had to have 20 treatments pre-surgery and 10 after. And it's during that time that we encountered several things popped up that started working. After my 8th treatment, I was in the chamber and I thought, God, is that what's in my mouth? And all of a sudden I had fluid back in my mouth. So when I was done with the dive for that day, I told the staff here, and they got Dr. Meyer, and I said, look at here, I got spit. I haven't had spit in 15 years.
That is awesome.
Which is remarkable. And as far as the tooth goes, they did extract it. I did the 10 hyperbaric after, and I went back a week after the surgery, and I was healed up. They couldn't believe how rapidly I healed. Also, not trying to babble here too much, but I also experienced in my hip, I've got arthritis in my hip, which getting to be 73 years old, those things pop up. We have now determined not taking any medication for it, not taking any supplements for it or anything. That pain went away in my hip. And now doing that, we've backed off. I don't take hyperbaric every day like I did for that oral surgery. But we kind of determined that once a month now, if I go in for a 1-hour session, that kind of alleviates that and the stuff doesn't pop back up. So it's been kind of a miraculous deal here the last 6-7 months, hasn't it, Dr. Meyer?
It's amazing.
Well, it's amazing that we're talking to a guy that beat stage 4 cancer to begin with. That's a great start to the story. The fact that chemo and radiation probably took care of that saliva, and then hyperbarics brings back the saliva, and as a side effect, got rid of your hip pain. That's pretty cool.
It is. It's just unbelievable. The saliva thing especially, it's hard to explain, but going that long and not having having dry mouth, it's hard to swallow. Just a lot of different things happen because of it. Now I'm back using regular toothpaste. Life is good, and I can't say anything but high praise about it. The chambers work.
That's awesome. Before we went on air, I asked you if your father was Al Mataloni, and indeed your father, Al Mataloni, ran the Cedar Cabin in Ashton. I don't know how many years, a long time. And I would imagine the food was so good at the Cedar Cabin, you want that saliva to taste it.
Right, yeah, to answer your question there, my parents were there and ran it for 48 years.
Wow. That's incredible. Yeah. That's really cool.
Right.
Dr. Meyer, this is a great story and a great hope story again.